Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the Old School Radio Podcast. Forgive me for the other live. Had some technical difficulties. Supposed to have some people come in. Um, so I do apologize for that. So what I'm trying to do is actually bring forth some people. So things that's happening right now, um, based on love and based on family, and I burned some bridges in my life. I burned some bridges in my life, and also mended, rebuilt, and created bridges in my life as well. So no one's perfect. No one's talking about myself this segment. I was adopted. You know what I'm saying? I was adopted and focusing on some things that I was adopted at about 2 weeks old, maybe. My parents saw me on TV. I don't remember what show it was. I don't remember Donahue or it was some kind of old show back in the 70s. And my adopted parents saw me on TV. You know what I'm saying? My adopted parents saw me on TV. And I tried to do some things. Tried to adapt. I tried to use my mind in a lot of ways. I even created a life for myself. Because I came in as one person. In about a week, I came to my family about 2 weeks old. My name was one thing, and then my name changed to a different name today. And so I was two people, name wise. My identity was focused on life to its highest degree, and you know, based on that, you know, and based on that, I tried to adapt and recreate something in my mind. So recreating something in my mind. I even made up stories about my biological parents. I had no idea. Still to this day, well, I'm about to finally get the courage to do my DNA test. Um, About to order it this week. But based on that, what I'm trying to do is really focus on trying to upgrade myself to that level of gaining knowledge. Sometimes knowledge comes down through my mind, through other sources, stuff that I know nothing about, and then explain it to explain it like I knew it, and then not knowing that I'm explaining something I never learned until I go back and listen to it. So I try to record myself talking about certain things. I've been doing it all my life. All I know is my mother's real name, according to the original birth certificate. But I tried to search for that name in a specific state or anywhere for that matter in the world and found out that name is very common. So I don't know if that's a phony name or that's really her name. But I went through all kinds of changes trying to not use my adoption as a crutch. I've been through a lot. Like I said, I burned through some bridges. I've remended some bridges. I created new bridges and kept those bridges that I created and that we created, and kept the bridges that I mended. Yes, there's some people in the family that don't like me, or I don't know if they hate me or whatever the case may be. All I know is that I love them. I love them. I appreciate them helping me in my time of need, because that's what family do. But I love them. Love them with my heart, soul, and mind. And I appreciate them, because that's the way my father has taught me. Dear brother, my father. And not going to mention any names, but this is the Old School Radio Podcast, pre-show. So I'm focused on telling this story about myself, because a lot of people really ask me, what's your story? What's your background? What's going on? So I'm going to start the story right there. And basically what I'm going to do, play a little music. You might not agree with the music I'm going to play, but I'm going to play it. This is one of my favorite songs by Jelly Roll. One of my songs by Jelly Roll. I'm going to call this I Need a Favor. I need a favor. So what I try to do, I only talk to God when I need a favor, and I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor. Amazing grace, but I ain't been living the purpose. I stay around, spend more Sundays drunk off my ass than I have in church. A hardcover King James, only been saving dust on the nightstand. I don't know what to say. By the time I fold my hands, I always have so who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor. God, I need a favor. Can't be Jesus. I thank for all I've done. Just please don't let me lose her. I only talk to God when I need a favor. And I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor. I know I started off with my adoption, but this is something really special. I'm going to show you pictures of a picture on the face of Mars. That they supposedly that took pictures on Mars, surface of Mars by sending probes out. They do have that ability to do that. So what I'm showing you here is a Google picture of the face on Mars right here. So what I'm trying to do here, show you some more stuff they took pictures of, okay? Okay, see if I can find it. Okay, this picture here. This picture right here. Let me show you. This is what I was talking about the other night. This right here. Okay, this is right here. I show you on YouTube. This is a picture of the Ankh right here. So let me play it for a moment. Let me play it, see if I can. So this is something here that I've seen. This picture right here of an Ankh on Mars surface. This is a picture of Mars. Now, a picture worth 1,000 words. This is supposed to be the picture of Mars, which I kind of get, but it's supposed to be a picture of Mars. Picture right here of right here. And what we're doing is showing everything based on this. This is the Ankh. This represents the womb. This part here represents the phallus, okay, of man. So the Ankh represents female and male family. That's right. That's where I got that from. See, these are pictures that zooming in. Here's some things here. I don't think a lot of people will see. This is weird right here. It shows things that's weird on Mars based on this right here. These represent rock fragments, things that were built on Mars. Okay. Let me show you some other things. Okay. There's another video showing helicopter. Talking about the helicopter that's on the wall. And this is back in ancient times. They're doing the airwolf thing. It's interesting. Seti the first. I can't remember the name of the temple. It's Seti the first. This is Egypt. So-called Egypt. Called Kemet. The rocket ship. This is interesting. This was on pyramid walls. Seti the first. That's the temple. I told you I don't talk about nothing that I can't prove. Very interesting based on this. This is crazy here. This is weird. So I showed you that. See this here? It's a light bulb. This ain't the time. A light bulb. This is on Egyptian walls. See this right here? Crazy. I tell you that because I showed you that because I don't want to talk about it and not prove it. Then I'm gonna show you another video. Hold on 1 second. Give me a second. I'm gonna show you this soon. 3 pyramids. Yeah, I'm still here. Bear with me. So I'm gonna show you this. All right, this right here, I think this video explains why they built these 3 pyramids that match Orion's belt.
Not longer, humans have been plotting several constellations across the night sky. Many ancient cultures shared the belief that we came from the stars, and Orion has long been regarded as one of the most significant constellations in the known universe. The ancient Egyptian star cult and faith in the afterlife are not unheard of. But why were they so fascinated with the stars, especially stars from the Orion constellation? And why did the constellation play an important role in the alignment of their man-made spectacles? Today on Crunch, we will try to understand why the Egyptians were so obsessed with the Orion constellation. Gateway to heaven. The age-old question pops up every time we think of pyramids. Their purpose and origin have provoked centuries of debate. Were they deliberately aligned with Orion's belt? What does this alignment mean? Does it hold the greatest answer in our quest for knowledge? Or could it represent a past glorious civilization that came to Earth from the Orion constellation? It has long been suggested by ancient astronaut theorists that the astronomical arrangement of these edifices is a calling card left behind by extraterrestrials. At the dawn of Egyptian civilization, particularly during the Old Kingdom, the pharaohs of the 4th dynasty built those almost perfect pyramids. The unique design of these pyramids probably had a significant reason, but they never left us any sort of plans or sketches to tell us about their function. It remained a puzzle ever since, until 1963, when an Egyptologist looked to the stars for clues. Alexander Badawi, a pyramid researcher, asked an American astronomer, Virginia Trimble, to analyze the nagging suspicion that the shafts of the Great Pyramid pointed at something in the sky. And after a year of study, the outcome was quite surprising. The southern shaft of the King's Chamber aligned perfectly to the exact degree with Orion, as it would have done during the time of construction about 4,000 years ago. It somehow made sense to say that the Egyptians, who considered Orion to be the resting place of the deceased pharaohs, would have constructed this shaft to enable the soul of the pharaoh to communicate between Earth and heaven. Some years later, a construction engineer turned Egyptologist, Robert Bouval, looked into it once again to see where the Queen's Chamber shaft pointed. After making some calculations, he was astonished. The southern shaft of the Queen's Chamber pointed at Sirius, his consort, Isis. He was amazed by the degree of accuracy. As Bouval became more and more aware of the geometric planning that went into all of this, he wondered, why didn't the pyramids fall in a straight line? Why was the third pyramid much smaller and offset to the left? It was a pitch-dark night in a desert with a few friends, and while admiring the stars, they revealed an extraordinary breakthrough in this research.
And I was in the desert once with a friend of mine in Saudi Arabia, and with all this in my mind, he happened to be a navigator by sheer luck, and he pointed to the stars of Orion and said, we use these stars because they tell us the direction of east. And he said, have a look at them, and there are 3 stars, 2 bright ones and 1 less bright in offset. And that's bang.
In the 1980s, he proposed a theory explaining a possible purpose in the arrangement of the pyramid complex at Giza. The Orion correlation theory was put forward by him, which mentioned Mintaka, the dimmest of the most westerly of the stars making up Orion's belt, was offset slightly from the others. This was replicated in the layout of the 3 main pyramids in the Giza pyramid complex. He published his idea in 1989 in the journal Discussions of Egyptology, Volume 13. Back in time, the ancient Egyptians...
See, I want y'all to show y'all this, because science explains a lot, but anytime we talk about our people, that's what we're talking about. Mathematics is dealing with creation. Mathematics is dealing with everything, creation, the source of all things. Mathematics, numbers don't lie. We talk about numbers don't lie. Not lying. To no degree, numbers lie. So, I did tell y'all some things about me being adopted. But I just told you a small part of it. But I'm not going to really start telling the story until October 31st, 2025, the Old School Radio podcast. That's something that's really necessary based on that. So I just wanted to show y'all that, and it puts you in a perspective of what I've been talking about. On TikTok, I've been talking about this. I'm really going to start showing things and proving things as I talk about it. But based on this, the Old School Radio podcast is necessary because people need to hear what's going on. People need to see what's going on. So I just want people to really see what's going on when it comes to that. Okay. Okay. Now these are the things the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was talking about this right here. Let me play a video. Give me 1 second. Hold on. One moment.
There are millions of different types of mother planes, flew by millions of different types of beings, right? But we who have our own mother planes, right? We have the Grand Mothership Nubaru, right? Which is 63,408 miles in diameter. It's about 9 times the size of Earth, right? And inside of her belly, she carries about 2,880 shams. A sham is the crown-shaped passenger crabs that come from inside of the Grand Mothership Nubaru, right? It also can hold 24 crystal cities. It also carries 10 warships and has space for thousands of other different ships because there are different types of creatures on Nubaru and they all have their own types of ships. So they have places where they can park their ships in. This is the Grand Mothership Nubaru, right? We also have the Mothership Destiny Fleet, right? Which is a half a mile long and 1/4 of a mile wide at its rear point, right? And it comes equipped.
It's a teachings
This is him talking.
or a discussion among the people of the wicked and even among the righteous. It is a subject that is never wanted. It is a dreaded subject for the wicked. To hear one discuss his time of doom. This stands true throughout the ages. We take our subject here from the Holy Quran and Bible. The time, chapter 103 of the Holy Quran and verse 2. Surely man is in loss. Man is in loss. he don't prepare for anything like the time of his doom. The near the time of his doom comes, the more evil he becomes, the more trouble he makes, the more disbelief that he have in the time of his doom. So I think it is most appropriate for me to use this subject with you, since that you are living in the time and ending of the world that you and me has known. The time and ending of the wicked, the Caucasian world, the enemies of righteous, the murderers of prophets.
Okay, so based on that, we cannot be so arrogant that we're alone in this universe. We can't be alone in this universe. If a man of wisdom back then, of knowledge of self, 76 trillion worth of knowledge, who came as a messenger to our people. And I understand he's a messenger. Some say the messenger. Who came, I know it might sound, but I always looked up to this man, along with other leaders that came about. But today's old school discussion, mother planes, or UFOs, or whatever, we cannot be that arrogant to believe or understand the thinking that we're alone in this universe. Y'all might think I'm crazy. I really don't care. But this is reality, and this is real. So, I'm going to play one more video. Okay? I'm going to play one more video that talks about sorry about that, y'all.
Allah God, who came in
Okay, we're going to play this video one more time.
the Fall of America by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Chapter 58, The Mother Plane. The Mother Plane was made to destroy this world of evil and to show the wisdom and mighty power of the God who came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. The nature of the new world is righteousness. The nature of the new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. The same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on his planets. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praises are due forever, is wiser than any god before him, as the Bible and the Holy Quran teach us. He taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet, Earth. The mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. He will raise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. This reminds us of the prophet's prediction of this time of the destruction of the old world and the bringing in of a new world. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Bible, Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 1. There are planes in various nations today, but this is the mother of them all. Why? Because this type of plane was used before the making of this world. Why should God make such a sign of his power to destroy a nation? Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed God in his purpose and aims for justice and righteousness. The white race is not a people who were made righteous and then turned to unrighteousness. They were made unrighteous.
Okay. We have to understand different messengers, including the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, came and tried to warn us before the destruction. But the actuality is there are disagreeable beings and there's agreeable beings. So we have to really focus on life in general. So our DNA is in question. Because the black woman is the only woman that can actually have babies of different races. The only woman, the black woman, period. That's it, that's all. So there's something different about our DNA. So I'm going to say, this is something that we're going to discuss next time on the Old School Radio Podcast. Much love from the tribe. Peace and love.